looking at the ES E-mini futures 2000 tick chart, and we're using price action rules and market geometry to determine where to enter for high probability setups. So I took this trade really early. As soon as I got to the charts, I saw that we had a visual second entry long to test new extreme of this uptrend. You can see we had this second entry long here, but it was super far away from the EMA. And then this is kind of a higher low confirming that setup. So I entered on this bar. Technically it went 8 ticks already, but I went ahead and put my limit order in anyways. It was good enough for me to risk. You can see we found a multiple test here. It's another really good good sign that a trade might work out. So multiple test, visual second entry long. If I grab this arrow and I draw it like that and then I copy it, you can see it's a perfect double leg pull back to the EMA to test new extreme. It got a little bit risky, or not risky, but sketchy. When it started to come below EMA like this, you can see this bar closed below EMA. Luckily, it ended up going up. But I had to hold this trade. It was good enough for me to risk. Multiple test, visual second entry long, higher low confirming an actual second entry long, and this uptrend needs new extreme. So I just went ahead and held the trade. But if we go ahead and look at the overnight session, you can see I think market opened around this area here. So we were just in this really small consolidation. The market opened and we were at the top of this consolidation and then broke lower. But as you can see in this trading range, there is a lot of empty room at the bottom. So that shows that there's some bullish pressure. So that is another reason I'm pretty confident taking a long after we broke out of this trading range. We do know that most breakouts fail, but we can have breakout pullback if there's bullish imbalance showing before the breakout, especially with this uptrend needing new highs. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this trade. Hopefully we can reach this 16, and then I'm going to manage this one as a runner, so anything that it makes is just a bonus. So let's see what happens. All right, guys, we got the 16. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop up to 8 to lock in another $100 of profit. So far we're at 600. I scalped 2 at 8 and 2 at 16, and now I'm gonna keep my stop with this 1 at 8. So still gonna hold the trade though. Hopefully it won't come back and stop me out here. Hopefully we continue higher, and then I'll manage every pullback. I'll put my stop below every pullback. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys. So we created new high, but we continued to push up. So I'm thinking we have some kind of spike in channel, maybe something like this. Now we do have this second entry long, but this spike in channel isn't really quite confirmed yet, so I'm going to go ahead and skip this. It looks like it was a good decision to skip that. It would have just stopped me out. So I'm going to be watching this spike in channel. We'll see if it rejects off of this bottom trend line, see if it wants to continue higher or not. All right, guys, came back from the break and we created new extreme just as we expected it to. If we continue higher, though, there might even be a wider channel. It's definitely a lot of bullish pressure here. So the fact that we already created a new high and then we rejected off of EMA is already a good sign that we're going to continue to go higher. But if we push below EMA, there's a chance that new market structure will start to form. So definitely a no trade zone. You got to sit on your hands and be patient here. And just see what the market wants to do. You got to trade the market you get, not the market you want. So let's see what happens here. Okay, it keeps pushing up here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and look for some kind of wider channel. Something like this. There is a lot of empty room here at the bottom, but that's pretty common. If it's a really strong uptrend, and it seems like it's pretty strong, and the EMA is in the middle, you can see we can even draw like a midline to this, and there's multiple confirmations from the bottom and the top of the prices going to this level. So especially with EMA being right here, multiple rejections, and then we created new high for this smaller uptrend. I can't remember how I had it drawn. I think it was like this. You can see we had a break out of the channel, created new high, and it just continued to work higher. So you always got to ask yourself why it continues to go up, and it's most likely because there's a wider channel. It's not really acting as new high. After new high, it should reverse down or correct, and it stayed above EMA, multiple rejections. There's a nice second entry long right here. It's an inside bar. If you can get filled on this trade, that's pretty decent, but that's only if you have this wider channel drawn. You don't want to go long right after new extreme was created. So now that we have this wider uptrend, looking for some kind of potential second entry long. If it forms here, it'll be pretty good because it'll be measured move, pull back to the EMA. If we get a nice signal bar, I can consider, but I normally take one trade a day, and I already took that one this morning, so we'll see what happens here. Hopefully we get something though. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here for the day. Overall, pretty good price action today. Not a lot of bars formed. You can see it was pretty slow. The ATR right now is 1.7, so not too much going on. We started our day off with this nice trading range right here. You can see a lot of empty room at the bottom. And then once we went below EMA, we created this spike down, got a break, pushed to new low, and then started an uptrend, break, pushed to new high, and then continued to work higher after that new high was created multiple times. And it ended up being a pretty nice uptrend right here. I took one trade today at the beginning of the day, which was this guy here. Oh, that's not an arrow. Here we go. Overall, pretty good trade. It's a higher low confirming a second entry long right here. At the time, this uptrend needed new high, and it's a visual two-legged pullback to the EMA. Perfect high probability setup. I was able to get filled on this pullback right here. It had already moved 8 ticks right here. Oh no, it only moved 7. So it hadn't worked out yet. And then once it pulled back, it got me into the trade. It filled my limit order, and I was able to capture this pull up. I captured 2 at 8, 2 at 16, and then 1 runner at 8. So overall, pretty good day. There's a few decent setups you could consider. Like this second entry long right here is pretty good. Let me zoom in. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Pretty decent second entry long. It is an inside bar. Inside bars are a lot more like sketchy to take, just because you don't really see like the full pullback, right? You want to see a strong rejection up. But it's a nice bull bar off of the EMA in an uptrend, so you can consider something like that. But overall, pretty good day. If you guys like the video, go ahead and like it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be uploading every day, every weekday, my live charting sessions. So thank you guys for watching, and good luck with your trading.